Okay, so nobody's getting the truth from the mainstream media, folks. It's well past time to open your eyes, your ears, and your mind. Do your own research because something isn't right here. And if you can't see that, you are not paying attention, folks.
It's the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order. A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
So let's look at each one of these and see how we can get this down to zero. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero. Now that's back from high school algebra, but let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
The important message that we need Australians to get vaccinated as quickly as possible. In line with that, I do encourage all Australians to please go and book your vaccinations as soon as you can if you haven't already done so.
Emma, get away!
When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Okay, we need to stand up against this tyranny, folks. Stop giving away your freedoms and liberties, because the more you give up, the more these people will take until you have absolutely nothing left. That's their agenda.
Who knows? Good evening, folks. Welcome to another week of the shit show, and hopefully Australia is getting organised to actually make its voice heard on a Remembrance Day, guys. All right. I'm excited. All right, I can feel this being something that the country can come together on and get done, guys. All right, so Sydney, we're calling on you. All right, we need to get out in force on Anzac Day. On Remembrance Day. All right, so start getting organised, guys. Start putting a bit of money away. Start to put a bit of this away, a bit of that away, whatever. Okay, so you can go for as long as you can from the 11th through, all right, and make a difference, guys. All right, we can make a difference. We got to slow this beast. It's killing us. You know it. We all know it. We just got to get that out to some other people, okay, which is the general population, because, yeah, Jesus, still some people out there, guys, that are just pretty well involved with what's going on. And it's sad. Because, yeah, they're going to have to wake up and realize, what they've done and what they've been supporting. But anyway, a couple of things going on out there, guys. We had Operation Trident, all right, from the cops, 250 cops, New South Wales, across the Sydney suburbs. Now, okay, you're out there doing your thing on crime, but the crime's only here because it's by design by the government. So, what I'd like to say to you cops is, instead of chasing people for illegal vapes and tobacco and bullshit like that, why don't you just get together, have a bit of a chat, and say you're not following your Freemasonic associated elders anymore. You're not going to put up with your judges putting people back on the street. Start calling them out and tell your superiors that you're now going to support the people. Because all you're doing out there is bullshit, guys. Putting Band-Aids on things that's been designed behind the scenes. How about we go behind the scenes, all right, and have a look at what's going on and front them people up. Grow some balls like most of his crew he's got, guys. Seriously. You just need to have a good look at yourselves there are some great cops out there, right? I know a few myself. But yeah, guys, you need to stand up. You really do. All right, because that's just bullshit. 250 cops to, like harassing people and one laws, you know what I mean? This, that, and the other. Come on. Anyway, my thoughts to you guys. And you mentioned it's about child protection and this, that, and the other. I saw your clips today. It's just bullshit. So anyway, big storms in Jamaica, big storms in Brisbane. Well, Brisbane's going to create, power plants that are running off coal. I suppose they're going to cop a bit of shit, guys. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows where it's coming from? But yeah, big storm up there. So yeah, our hearts go out to anyone in Brisbane that's been caught up in that. There's still a lot of thousands of homes out. But yeah, whilst we got Albo over sucking up the Chinese, we got two big volcanoes got off in the Philippines, guys. And I was over that way when, very lucky actually, but I was that way when Pinatubo went off in the Philippines back in 89, 90. Anyway, Albo's over there doing a suck up to the Chinese again. He's just a jet setter. He's out absolutely everywhere. I think Caz can share out tonight by the look of it, so that's a good thing. So we got the National MP says net zero is causing hardship and heartache to farmers. Well, if you want to listen to Wade, who I suspect, I'd like to recommend to you, right? You Nationals, have a chat to Wade at Northernhausen. Okay, he's down there in Canberra all the time, guys. All right, go and have a chat to him. He'll tell you exactly what's going on. Causing heartache, you're causing heartache for everyone in the country. All right, and again, time to stand up, guys. Been playing the game too long. All right, way too long. But we are having a win with local councils struggling to classify and regulate tiny homes. Now, that's good, guys, because that means your little camper vans and your different things, you know what I mean? They're having trouble, pulling you into some sort of some scheme. But they'll, no doubt be whacking a law in on it soon. They know how to do it. They've already got it all in by design, guys. So, yeah, Caz, come on in and...
well, look, we got heaps of news.
Out there?
Oh man, our people are all over it. Let's have a look at this. Is this week's Around the Traps.
This weekend Around the Traps saw a number of events take place all over Australia. In Melbourne, there was a prayer, praise and protest held at the Treasury Gardens.
Will you come to Jesus tonight? Come to Jesus who bled and died for you. Come to Jesus, he knows just what to do. He will heal your heart and
the Governor Gates were attended and the Governor instructed to do their job.
And good morning to you all on Facebook World. It is again Saturday morning here at the Governor's here in Melbourne, and I've got all my friends with me today, the lovely black and white friends, which are my magpies. So they turn...
I also instruct you to coordinate with Governor-General Samantha Boston. I want all the documents, Senator Bill Heffernan, produced to the royal people, released to the people, unredacted immediately.
While Craig Vine took a break from the Forest of the Fallen to bring awareness to the digital ID.
Display that I do for Forest of the Fallen. But I'd like to start today differently with what you can see in front of me now. As you can see there, Australia says no to digital ID. Australia mass non-compliance, 11th of the 11th, 2025. 11 days on the 11th day of the 11th month at 11 a.m. I presume. Cash only, pre-plan. Make sure that you, obviously get your cash out ready. We should be doing that already anyway, so we can participate in this event. So as you can gather there, this is about non-compliance of the digital ID, right?
And in Canberra, the Converge on Canberra took place with lots of excellent speakers.
Karen, we've been going to the Governor's for over 70 weeks in Sydney. Try to instruct her, use our democratic voice, tell her to issue the writs for fresh elections. We want all the unredacted Bill Heffernan documents from Exposure 28. I'm sure everyone knows Australia's a filth pit of pedophilia, and every time we stand up and do it, they'll put another suppression order on it. So, I'm not sure if everyone's seen the corruption whistleblower, but this is a brief of evidence. Page 36 to 41, every single politician has been served. They are standing in treason. These people are not working for us. They're not working for the Commonwealth. They're working for a foreign registered ABN business. That is not our government.
Good on you guys. You're the backbone of this fight. You people out there doing it like that, and it's what we got to have, mate. It's unreal.
Yeah, and we do. And there's more. Of course, you've got Rocco reports as well. He was very busy over the weekend.
Rocco was busy this weekend reporting, first of all at the Self-Reliance Festival in rural West Sydney.
Rocco Vardy coming to you from Kenthurst. Guess what, guys? This is a wonderful group. It's an Italian acreage here, and they're lecturing on UCC, how to free yourself from the system using certain sections of law. And I've got some organised down here. There's camping facilities. Have a look, guys. It's wonderful organised. That I've got some old friends I haven't seen for a very, very long time. We've got an entertainment district there. I'm just so proud of my Italian heritage, guys, because they're leading the way, guys. They've stopped work for a week. They're grinding the beast to a halt. And what are we Australians going to do? They've set the standards for us, guys.
Then attending the No 15-Minute Cities protest in Marrickville.
15-minute city protest, guys. Have a look.
Protect what we have, and we need to build more of it. Under this plan, many of these real affordable...
We're going to be marching soon from the town hall down to the development site where they want to demolish homes of people of poor income and build high-rises for the rich. Everyone is outraged of housing profits. We are trying to save a development site down the road where low-income earners will be tossed out on the street. Have a look, guys. People are outraged. Have a look, guys. I got the crowd roaring with my shames, guys. They loved it. Rocco Vardy said it's tremendous love.
That's great, isn't it? That is great. Yeah. People
awesome.
starting to come together in communities and fight and stand up.
That's exactly right. All right. And of course, we had Renegade Rosie over at DY as well.
Doing Forest of the Fallen again, and I've just had a conversation with someone. It's so curious the way the people who are most resistant to considering all the death and injury that's happened from the COVID injections are all medical. Every week we meet between 6 and 10 people who've been injured or have family who've died. And most weeks we'll meet one doctor or one nurse who still resists considering that this might be true. And it's hard to understand how they can be so oblivious when they're there at the coalface meeting people who are injured. Now we're seeing that millions in America are being qualified as disabled. How much longer can they pretend this isn't happening? It's just beyond belief.
With some devastating results, and some young people whose lives have been irreparably damaged, lost their jobs, and can't work anymore.
Is it cardiac issues or strokes or what is it?
One particular young lady, she was a nurse. She had to take the vaccines to keep her job, and she had a pulmonary embolism and almost passed, and is still now addicted to.
Yes, and now you're suffering from some autoimmune problem. Would you like to say what's happened to you?
Yeah, I got fibromyalgia rheumatica, and they said that my immune system is very low, that I don't have a lot of protection. So maybe.
I believe you would have had your little girl would have had the vitamin K and the Hep B.
Yes.
Yes. Did you feel you had a choice when it came to that?
definitely not an informed choice. No, not at all.
It's all about control to me. I think the original reason for it was to see how much we'd accept for change and all the stuff that's coming in now, especially we see all this stuff with digital ID, and it was just basically a test. And you could probably go down the conspiracy, well, it's probably not a conspiracy anymore, about the depopulation as well. But basically it's all about control.
Hey, you love that guy putting out the truth. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, we've got more international news on that as well, because I think it was we've had it in the studio for a couple of weeks, but we just didn't get around to it. But Palantir was the one that was dictating how people were being treated.
Now, Palantir has multiple programs for healthcare management. They call them dashboards, and they're basically ways that they're like central intelligence for the hospital. You can see the census. You can see how many nursing staff you have. You can see how many drugs you have. Everything in real time is all centralized right there. And you can touch a button and change your staffing levels or change your pharmacy or order vaccines or change how many ventilators, whatever you want to do. So there's programs to monitor all of that Palantir provides to hospitals. And hospitals already use this as just a general tool to manage their business. So it wasn't any big deal for them to take a Palantir program called, I think for under Operation Warp Speed, the HHS Protect program was part of that. And Palantir created a program called Tiberius. Tiberius was a program that used the data that they collected from HHS Protect, that they collected from the COVID-19 registry. It could predict behavior. So it had your ethnicity data, it had your location data, it had your behavioral data, it had your medical record information. It knew if you were vaccinated or not, even though there wasn't a code to track that publicly. But Palantir had a way to do that. CDC had a way to do that. HHS had a way to do that. Us in the hospital, we did not have a way to do that. We were blinded. Okay. But it assigned a risk score to people. And that's how they determined, and to hospitals too, and that's how they determined by using this Tiberius program, where do they send the vaccines? Where do they send the ventilators? And where do they send the remdesivir?
All by design. That proves it, Dan.
It is. Now, one of the things that I find really comforting at the moment is the fact that we've got so many Australians, so many Aussies popping up. For a long time, there was only a handful of us. And it's awesome. And of course, these guys here are some of my favorites. You've got Two Worlds Collide. Listen to him.
Jewish Affairs Council, AJAC, well, guess what they do? They're a political lobby group. Their whole job is to build relationships with Australian politicians, fly them over to Israel, show them their side of the story, and then potentially shape the way they talk when they get home. They're basically a small version of APAC, which is America-Israel Public Affairs Committee. Right, and APAC, they're one of the most powerful lobby groups in America. They spend over $100 million at every single US election for candidates who back their agenda. And AJAC, which is Australia's version of APAC, well, they have the same playbook. And if you want proof of this, let's check out Susan Lay's story. Right, Susan Lay, she spent almost 20 years as the only right-leaning MP that was pro-Palestine. Right, let's check out her history. In 1960, she grew up in the UAE. In the early 2000s, she co-chaired Parliament of Friends to Palestine with Anthony Albanese. In 2008, she stood up and said Palestine has been wiped off the map. In 2011, she did a Palestine-funded trip to the West Bank and even ended up sponsoring a child in Bethlehem. And then in 2017, she publicly spoke out about the blockades in Gaza. And then in May 2022, well, she became the deputy leader of the Liberal Party. This is where it all changes. Then in October 2022, she went on the Ram Bam AJAC-funded tour to Israel. Then in 2025, she becomes opposition leader. Right, and then Albanese comes out, recognises a Palestine state. And after being on a board with Albanese for nearly 2 decades with the Friends of Palestine in Parliament, well, she writes to 25 Republicans over in America to try and block Albanese's stance on Palestine. What a backflip. Right, and then in September 2025, just recently, she comes out and gives a speech at an AJAC luncheon, which was pro-Israel. Right, now, I don't like Albanese, everyone knows that, but she stood next to him for 2 decades, and pushed the same pro-Palestine narrative with him. Then bang, she goes on a tour, wants to become leader of the Liberal Party, and her speech just changes overnight. Right, and here's the kicker. The Parliament Friends of Palestine group that she once co-chaired, well, it's now packed with MPs who have done the AJAC trip. Go figure. What's up with that? Now, it's not just politicians who take these trips. It's media, it's social media influencers, it's bureaucrats, and guess what? It's even candidates. Candidates who aren't even elected into Parliament yet have done this trip. And yeah, sure, we have other political members go over to China, India, and all these other places, but Israel is the only one with a private lobby group in Australia where they fully fund trips. Now, I don't know if you pay attention to what's happening over in America, but a lot of the talk is AIPAC has that much influence over America that everyone is now calling them the United States of Israel. Since 2010, AJAC's Ram Bam tour, well, they've paid for over 100 MPs to go over there. AJAC's interest isn't to put Australia first, it's to put Israel first and then Australia second. So why do we let them lobby that way? Australia doesn't need politicians that run off foreign lobbying scripts. It needs politicians who work for Australia and Australia only. And until Australians come out and only preach Australia first, then guess what? None of them are fit for service. What's your thoughts?
Well,
yeah, he says it very well.
Now, what's interesting about that, now I need to do a shout out to somebody who found this for me, and I can't remember who it was, but it was a great find. Listen to this. You know, remember the Dural and the whole heap of things? Okay, this I did not know.
Mossad or other wing of Israeli intelligence did in Australia, where there was a string of very mysterious arsons outside synagogues carried out, it turned out, by non-ideological criminal elements and local miscreants who were recruited online and paid cryptocurrency with instructions to carry out various acts of sabotage outside Jewish targets. Only one nation benefits from that. And then Iran was ultimately blamed with an assist from Israeli intelligence to ASIO, the Australian Security Organization. So Israel basically said, Iran did it. Look at Iran. Who made it? Remember all those phone calls that were sent into Jewish community centers at the beginning of Trump's first term and caused mass panic and all this anti-Semitism hysteria was directed at Trump. There was also at the same time a wave of bomb threats and phone calls to Jewish community centers in Australia. And the Australian security services found that they were coming from Israel. And it turned out it was an Israeli teenager making most of these calls. And his identity was hidden for quite a while. But now we know who he is, and only one nation benefits.
The plot thickens.
It does. No, it does. It does indeed. You know, and another thing that another person who's really making great sense, and this is the thing about, I always say that it's more information. We always need more information. Now, I have always classified myself as a libertarian. Scotty presents such arguments that I think, hang on a minute, I can't be a libertarian. Listen to this. We can't play the whole lot. We can only play a bit, but go to the website because it'll be up over there.
Australia's great entrepreneurial success stories. Nearly 6,000 franchises around the country decides to chime in on the housing crisis in Australia. Jim believes that zoning laws are the significant issue holding back our ability to create housing in Australia.
What's the key policy that you think needs to be either abolished, fiddled with, or changed?
Basically zoning. But we all know it's a multi-layered beast. Jim deciding that zoning is the main issue is Jim protecting his business interests. And I completely understand that. There's actually nothing wrong with protecting your business interests. Plus, he's thinking about the nearly 6,000 franchisees that he has on board under the Jim's franchise model. Jim's business relies heavily on migrants coming into this country and staying here and buying franchises from Jim's. And why wouldn't they? When you think about it, it's a really simple business model to get involved in. It's a service industry. Australia is pretty much just made up of digging holes now, shipping shit offshore, and service industries, things like mowing. And if you're an entrepreneur or you're someone who's business minded and you like to work hard, then a franchise like this is probably a great option for you. The issue that we've got here in Australia is that in the middle of a housing crisis, mass migration has created this fucking dynamic where no one has any opportunity anymore and everyday Australians are going backwards. Jim knows that, which is why he's really reluctant to touch on the migration issue.
Should we pause or at least cut back on the level of immigration?
I think given the situation where the government's forbidding building of houses effectively, it's probably unwise to bring in so many people. But having said that, there are a lot of really wonderful people. My wife, she's an immigrant, first generation immigrant. She employs about 30 Australians. She's a developer. She runs
Type of investment here now. Other countries will get the benefit of our superannuation because in Australia we have fucking collapsing productivity and a collapsing economy. This announcement in the last week about the superannuation should absolutely terrify you, and if anyone's watching the gold price right now, that's an indication that your economy is collapsing as well. I always take my hat off to business people who pin their flag to a pole or a mast and stand up and say what they believe in. I've done the same thing in a very Australia first way. I actually believe in slashing immigration, slashing government and giving our people the opportunity first. But my business model also doesn't rely on 6,000 Indian franchisees. Australia first or nothing. No foreign bodies, no foreign lobbyists, no foreign interests. I don't give a fuck where you're from. I just don't want you to fucking do anything to my country that isn't Australia first. The Middle East, the subcontinent, China, fucking wherever. Even the Yanks. I don't give a fuck. Don't fuck with my country.
Yeah, look, I meant to do something about the swearing, but he goes on to explain what the difference between a libertarian is, because a libertarian is very laissez-faire and freedom for everybody. And he actually he makes a very good argument for actually, no, it can't be a libertarian. It needs to be Australia first. Australia first / the government, do this, do that. And when he puts it like that, it's kind of like, okay, well, I have to really reassess where I'm coming from with that.
Well, I'm just sticking to being a patriot because I love my country and I love all the people in it. And I just want to make the people that are here have a great time here and get rid of the criminals that are here and just, float the country back to something respectable and handleable. That's my thoughts on it.
Well, we do have a lot of look, let's go with Biko. Okay, so Biko's broken this down about the incomes and what's really going on.
4.5% unemployment, that's pretty bloody healthy and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you look a bit closer, Australia's employment sector may not be healthy at all. If we look at the total hours worked by sector, this orange line is the market sector, which means private employment. But just check out the non-market sector, which is government funded, and look at how many hours are being worked. So you can see that total hours worked is massively more when it comes to government funded employment, which can be government itself or it can be government funded in things like NDIS. Now, if we look at filled jobs per sector, this dark orange is the private sector but government aligned, which means government funded like the NDIS. And if you combine that with this orange outline section, which is full government jobs, you can see the vast majority of new filled jobs are coming from government and government funded positions. So even though Australia's unemployment level looks quite low, the vast majority of all new jobs created since COVID have been government or government funded positions. So for me, Australia's low unemployment levels are like fool's gold. It might look good from the outside, but in the end, it's all fake. And this will have huge consequences when the government starts clamping down on the creation of new roles as the budget expense for government and government funded employment really starts to skyrocket, which is what we've been seeing lately. So Australia's low unemployment is not all that it seems, and when the economy really starts to soften, unemployment levels could really surge.
Well, we've been saying that for a few years, but it's good to see other people coming out and backing us up on we've been saying. Yeah, he is spot on, Katie. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he is. All right, so we've got this situation now where we have police from foreign countries joining the Queensland Police Force. Have a look at this.
Look at this, guys. Look at this.
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੋਚੋਗੇ ਅੱਜ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਮੈਂ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਦੀ ਵਰਦੀ ਪਾ ਕੇ ਖੜਾ ਹਾਂ ਐਲੀਜੀਬਿਲਿਟੀ ਕ੍ਰਾਈਟੇਰੀਆ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪੂਰਾ ਕਰਨਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਆ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਚੈੱਕ ਕਰਦੀ ਆ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਕ੍ਰਿਮੀਨਲ ਹਿਸਟਰੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਕੋਈ ਰਿਕਾਰਡ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਪਲੱਸ ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਓਪਨ ਡਰਾਈਵਰ ਲਾਇਸੈਂਸ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਆ
So they're Punjabi, they're actually like recruiting. Like
recruiting Indians into the police force.
It's just outrageous. And then somebody sent me this one as well. So have a listen to this.
So if you're wondering why there's been so many incidences on the roads with like Indian truck drivers doing heaps of crazy shit, then I have a theory of why this might be occurring. Now, I don't know if it's the same in America, but there's certainly been quite a few deadly crashes over there recently. And all of this information I've gotten from truck driving instructors themselves. So I guess it's hearsay. So any of this is allegedly. So I have what's called an MC license here in Australia. Now, to get to this stage, it's taken me like 8 years. When you're 16 in Australia, you can go for your L's, and then after a year of that, you can get your P's, which is a 3-year process, like your provisional license, only on a few points. Then eventually you get your open driver's license, and then after a year of that, I think you're allowed to go for your HR license. Now, after a year of that, you can then go for your HC license or your MC license. Now, allegedly, what's been happening with these Indian truck drivers is they're coming over here with papers that say MC license on them. But the problem is MC in Australia stands for multi-combination, or kind of like a road train, you know, it's got 2 trailers. But in India, MC stands for motorcycle. I guess that means that if you're from India and you have a car license, you wouldn't be able to get a MC license or road train license. You actually have to come here with no driving experience and a motorcycle license. Now, I've asked more than one truck driving instructor.
Now, he goes on to say that when he was in India...
Insane.
That's right. Well, he goes on to say that when he was in India, he asked a bus driver about because they drive pretty recklessly. And the bus driver's response was, "Oh no, it doesn't matter if I die because then I'll go up to the next caste system because it doesn't matter if I've had an accident because if I die, I'll go to the next caste system because I did my job. I was doing my job well." So, and it doesn't end there either. Check this one out, Little Parramatta.
Visa. I'm working in India.
And what are your thoughts on Parramatta?
Parramatta is good, just like Little India, and I'm from India, so it doesn't seem that I'm outside. So it feels like home.
What do you think about the prices over in India compared to here in Australia?
India has own culture. Basically, in Parramatta, mostly Indians are here. I don't find any differences, basically, being in Parramatta.
Well, where were the companies?
And it doesn't end there. Look at this for corruption as well. So the Albanese and Andrews had a private meeting with an Indian businessman who made money bringing in international students. Where it gets interesting is the very same businessman who bought land when Andrews was premier, and months later it had rezoned, so sold it, bagging $22 million.
Unreal.
And then we just had an AJAC, but look at this. They're going over to, so in Western Australia, they're sending an official mission to India this week to try and boost the numbers of international students. Like, it's just, they're just not
we're
stopping.
fighting against it. Yeah, they're just going ballistic, Caz. They've opened the gates, mate. Like they were open before, but now they're just it's like they're turbocharging it.
No, I know. Look, let's bring on the flyers, and then we've got Penny gives us a message which has gone viral, which is great.
And the Mondays at Maggie's crew is calling for tools down. It's time to stand together. A corrupt and tyrannical government is crushing industries, stripping freedoms and silencing voices. So join us every Monday at the Governor's House in Sydney at 11 a.m. And Stand in the Park Albury will be hosting a barbecue fundraiser to save tabletop from the Yambler Range Wind Farm. The barbecue will be held on Sunday the 2nd of November at 11 a.m, Australia Park, Albury. And there will be a Truther fundraiser on Saturday the 8th of November at 5 p.m. at Davison Town Progress Hall, 5 Macaulay Street, Davistown, opposite Ferry Wharf. The cost of entry will be $20. And there is a court call out for court support in Tamworth Council versus Rocco at the JMT local court in Sydney on the 4th of the 12th of the 25th, and that is for rate arrears. And Jackie Dundee is asking for court support for an extremely important case in New South Wales Supreme Court on Friday the 14th of November in Dr Beverly Peers and Rod Cullerton's matter, suing High Court Registrar Anna Bennett for perverting the course of justice. And on Saturday, the 22nd of November, there is an Abolish Abortion conference. This will be featuring T. Russell Hunter. In Melbourne, gather at the Governor's every Saturday to end the tyranny. 10 a.m. every Saturday at the Governor Gates. And join the Justice of the People in Melbourne every Sunday at 4:30 p.m. for a remembrance at the Shrine of Remembrance. And there is a call for every Australian to take the day off and come and pay their respects to the soldiers that sacrificed so much for this country, lest we forget. The 11th of the 11th, 2025 at 11 a.m. at King's Domain, Melbourne. Started again with the Vaccine Injury Bus Tour. The dates will be 10th of November, Wollongong, 11th of November, Kiama, 12th of November, Nowra, 13th of November, Ulladulla, 14th of November, Narooma, 15th of November, Merimbula, 16th of November, Yass, 17th of November, Goulburn, and 18th of November, Bowral. And there will be a mass non-compliance date against the digital ID starting on the 11th of November for 11 days. On the 11th day of the 11th month, cash only or pre-plan, no online purchases and no purchases. And every day there is a daily prayer space held on X. It's at 3 p.m. Melissa 14623
All right, plenty happening. Beautiful,
There
guys.
is. And Penny's got a message for us on this, which is, I'm seeing it everywhere, which is great.
On the 11th of the 11th, for 11 days, the people will be the power. This is your time to strike back against digital ID. For 11 days, no online shopping, no cards, no taps, cash only. Hit them where it hurts. The banks that build the tools and sell you the convenience. Boycott the supermarkets. Support your local farmers. The cash-only businesses. It is time. Will you commit to not comply? Melbourne, meet at the Shrine at 11 o'clock, then walk to the Governor's. Sydney, meet at the Anzac Monument in Hyde Park, 11 o'clock, then instructions will follow. Meet at your city or town on the 11th for Remembrance Day. They fought for our freedom. We are fighting for our freedom again. Make them proud. Let's go, Australia. Download the flyers below, print, share and unite. Together, we will take a stand. 11th of November for the 11 days. We will not comply.
All right, so me and Mel went down yesterday, guys. My place in Wollongong. Met Robin's doing that down here. Great lady. And I got a photo, actually, of the people down there. It was great. We, had about 25, probably 30, yeah. I didn't count, but 25 people probably about, guys, down there at a little cafe down here in Wollongong in Swan Street. We got together and, yeah, it was the first of a good little meeting, right? So I got some information here. We're going to try and get it over to Craig, and Craig can see if we can, we can get Penny on any time, mate. That's okay. As we're ramping it up, we will, get a few people on about this, guys. And there's some other stuff getting done as well. But yeah, there's a get together down at Wingdang, guys. It'll be Red All Parade on the eastern side of the main road there. Sunday. All right. And that'll be Sunday. I've got some details here. 10 o'clock. 10 a.m. it is. All right. But we'll get the details up into a poster so we can get them on the show. And let's get this thing moving, guys. All right. You've got the opportunity, right, to join groups here that are already organised, already doing stuff, all right, and all in on the 11th of the 11th. Okay, so let's get it moving, all right, and let's get people out there awake. Let's get the letterboxes, Craig's saying. Get on to Craig Vine if you want, PDF copies or whatever else, all right? Let's just start doing it, guys. All right, this is your chance, all right, because come the 10th of December, all right, if we haven't made a big enough noise, and we will be walking. Yeah, we're not going to say too much, guys, but we will be heading somewhere from Sydney at Hyde Park. All right, we've got a destination. All right, we don't want it stomped off on us. They're probably going to pick it anyway. But yeah, we'll discuss that on the day at the shrine, at the Anzac Memorial, and then we'll move on, guys. But bring your stuff. Right, we're going to have a picnic. All right, that's what we're going to do. All right, and that's the start of it. Okay.
And we have so many troubles here. Look, at least this is finally coming out. And I think largely this is due to the push from people like John Adams. So now this is absolutely horrendous. So this is Four Corners are going to break open this story. Yep. They have identified, it says here, 150 childcare workers convicted, charged, or accused of sexual abuse and inappropriate conduct.
Yep.
It is just unbelievable. They have drawn on more than 200,000 pages of previously confidential documents, tip-offs, court records. It is like, it looks like they're absolutely, the childcare system is absolutely riddled with pedophiles, guys. It looks that bad.
Listen, we've known about it, guys, all right? What happens around the world, and you know what happens over in America, all right, with the child units and that, guys, okay? It's everywhere, man. It's every Western country. It's every country that NATO's been kicked out of. You know why? Because that's their revenge, mate, to come back in and take you out, all right, and to fuck over your country. All right, this is what goes on, guys, all right? It is a big, bad club. And we are going to stop that big bad club. We are going to slow it down here in Australia. And we're going to start on the 11th, when our forefathers are remembered for standing for this country that we are fucking losing. So it's time to go, guys.
Now, in international news, I'll just cover that briefly. We're a bit behind time. So Nigerian Christians, basically Tommy Robinson tweeted out about that. What is interesting is Glenn Beck said, not for long, help is coming. Now, it's very interesting that Trump touched down in Qatar. So very interesting indeed. Now, Glenn Beck's actually tweeting that help is coming. So we know that Qatar actually funds a lot of this radicalized stuff. So now in the UK, they are under serious fire over there for what's been going on with Sadiq Khan, and the whole of that. The pedophile stuff has been, like, the grooming gangs has been breaking right open. Now, this guy here, he's done a really good interview. What he's done is he's actually personally filed suit on one of the perpetrators, and he's giving the victim the house. The victim has already won. Okay, got the house and everything. So it's all heating up. You know, and of course there's all this. Interesting stuff that's happening with regards to the whole D-class as well, like especially with Obama, Clappy, Comey, and all of those players, which we've already known. We've known this for 9 years or something, but it's actually coming to the fore where it was Obama's secret stay behind network, which it was. So yeah, very interesting. And of course, then you've got this interview with Kirill. Lara Logan did it. And he said that Biden figured out how to keep in power forever, and that was keep the Democrats in power forever, and that was by using immigrants, criminals, transgenders. So it's just all coming out at the moment, which is good. It needs to. And of course, then you've got this guy here. Basically, Britain is the home of Christianity. They Christianize the whole world. And look at this. He is he's basically being arrested or they are threatened to arrest him for preaching the gospel.
Oh, yeah. I've been following this guy. Yeah, they did. They told him to move on. Ollie, his name is. He's a great kid, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, took his megaphone off him, so he just started, doing it like off voice. Yeah, he's standing his ground, man.
He is. And then, of course, Tommy Robinson had Elon Musk speak to the crowd.
The government can obviously use whatever powers are available to suppress the people. And so I really think there's got to be a change of government in Britain. And you can't, we don't have another 4 years or whenever the next election is. It's too long. something's got to be done. There's got to be a dissolution of Parliament and a new vote held. And really, what matters is rallying the people of Britain, really getting the people of Britain to get the message out there, talk to your friends and family, and build a massive power base among the people. And like I said, you really.
Which is awesome. All right, we're being taken out by the Rocky Housewife again because she writes some really great stuff. And so, Dave, if you would like to wrap up and close the show, I'll hit play.
Yeah, okay, we'll get some people on and we'll start and get this 11th of the 11th promoted, guys, all right, with some of the people behind it. But I just saw Penny put in that her and Dave's may be coming up to Sydney. Well, yeah, great. Me and Frank have already been talking behind the scenes. Yeah, we've got a plan, guys. We just need you, the people of New South Wales, especially the people in Sydney and surrounding locations, as in Newcastle, Wollongong, all right, and a bit further south. Let's show the rest of the country, you know what we can do here, guys. All right, this is a big day. This is the 11th at 11:11 a.m. on a year that we know that our country is in trouble and that our forefathers that fought before us will be sitting up there looking down, guys. As someone just said, I wish they'd come back and sort it, because I tell you what, if they come back, it'll be sorted very, very freaking quickly. Okay? Unfortunately, we can't pick up a gun and do that, guys. All right? What we need to do is do it out of the strength of the good Lord above. All right, because it's his war. You're fighting it. Okay? So again, I ask you all, start promoting it. Start getting it out there. We want to make this huge, guys. All right? And what a bigger thing to make it huge on, you know? The Remembrance Day. All right, guys. Let's crack another week out. We're another week further down the line to getting this thing sorted out. Thanks for your effort, people. Good night.
In the factories, future inside. Now our boss mobs running the show, taxing our dreams, made their stealing the dough. Unrealized gain, supers their prey, taxing your farm before you sell it someday. Backflipped on promises, broke every vow. Retards in Canberra are fucking us now. And they say, oi, the blokes ain't alright. Dimming the light. Lima's cursed, job shipped away. 2030's chains, we're in decay. Climate control, broken up tight. Alba's crew screwed us. Blokes ain't alright. Net zero dreams, but we're all fucking broke. Power bills soar, windmills spin lies. Greenwash control while the battler cries. Stage 3 cuts, they fucked him to hell. Voice went down, cost a fortune as well. These retard clowns with their globalist mates sold our soul at the UN's gates. Lima in 75, Whitlam's big fuck up. Signed our jobs away, left us shit out of luck. Factories gone, 90% in the grave of made in Australia. Just a memory we crave, Agenda 2030.